All right, we're off with our first episode of the Back Off Golf podcast. Here we are. It's happening.
How's it going?
It's
How's
going
it
pretty
going?
good. How you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Excited for this first episode that only we'll listen to later, but I'm excited for it.
Got at least 2 listeners off the bat. So, I think our goal with this podcast is really just to kind of document our own journey with golf, and if people come along and listen with us, that's awesome. If not, it'll be cool to have to look back and some dad lore when we have kids eventually. We'll be like, we were podcasters. Listen to ourselves, but
No viewers.
so I'll just get off with the introduction. I'm Brenton. I've been golfing since like 2023. Came back from college, and I had some high school buddies who hit me up and were like, "Hey, we started golfing. You should get a set of clubs." So I'm a lefty. I couldn't borrow any of their clubs. I ended up, getting a set, and I went out golfing and fell absolutely in love with it. I was addicted from the first time. Couldn't play at all. Couldn't hit a ball to save my life, but I just knew I loved it. Being out on the golf course, it was peaceful, relaxing, and I was absolutely hooked on it. And so, got clubs, started playing, had a real fun time. Still not any good at it because I haven't been playing all that long, but it's definitely something I knew I was wanting to play a lot. And so, it kind of gets us into when we got John into it, and so he can kind of share how I got him into golf as well.
Yeah. So I had played golf maybe once way back in the day, which is funny because I actually had a chip in the first time I played the game, which was interesting. I'd never played. I had no idea how
Crazy.
special that was, but I was probably 30 yards off a green with a pitching wedge and just chipped in, and I had no idea. Even then, it didn't even get me as excited because I don't know if I didn't care that much or if I don't know why it didn't excite me because I wish, or maybe I just didn't even. I knew I didn't have the money to play then, so I didn't even get into it. That was when I was like probably like 16 or 17, and so so what happened was I hadn't played for years, and then Brenton he hits me up. Um, and he's like, "Hey, I've been loving this golf thing. You got to come." And so I came over. I said, "All right, I'll try it out." And I came over. I think I borrowed his dad's set of clubs. I'm pretty sure I just borrowed his dad's clubs. This would have been in what, like 20, even just a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was like the spring of 24, I think.
Yeah, like 20. Yeah. So I was like, "All right, I love it." So I hopped in there. I started playing, and I fell in love with it. And I don't know if it was the very first time I played or the second time I came down there and played, but I was on my way home from his house and I called him from a Dick's Sporting Goods and said, "All right, what should I buy? What club should I buy?" And there hasn't been any looking back since.
It was so funny. I remember you called me up and I was like, "What's up?" You're like, "I'm at Dick's Sporting Goods right now." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what are we looking at?" You're like, "Oh, a full set of clubs." And you had played like once, maybe twice with me, and it was like that's just how much we knew that it was gonna be something we were 100% like sold on. Was that like we played twice together and knew that that's was gonna be
Yeah.
our pastime for like the rest of life.
Oh, it's great. We're both extremely competitive. We both love being competitive. And it was just something that we were able to do together that we could either be competitive against each other or competitive with each other. And it's just so much fun. It was just the ability to hang out, you know, low key, but it's just so much fun. I love it.
100%. Yeah, I think we both have that competitive nature. We love to play sports. For me, I like team sports, but the aspect of golf that I love is it's fully self-reliant. So like, if I hit a bad shot, that's on me. If I hit a good shot and like am playing well, that's also on me. And so it's cool to like just be fully self-reliant and know that whatever happens for my score or like, well, obviously if you're playing like scrambles and stuff, then there's a team score and team aspect to it. But I just love that it's like all of the pressure is on you, and I think that that's just kind of a fun part of golf. Plus,
Hmm.
it's just beautiful to be outside and enjoy good weather and nice courses. So yeah, that's kind of how we got into golf. And so since we started playing together, I know we've had a lot of rounds where I've been out to your place, you've been out here a bunch, and we've played lots of golf. We even took kind of a little bit of a golf trip last year. No, that was this year, earlier
It
this
was this
spring.
year.
we went to the Memorial Day Open, and that was a blast. Played a bunch of golf there in Ohio, so that was cool. And then brings us to our most recent golf trip, which not golf trip, but golfing together, which was in early November. John came out here to visit, and we played golf. We played 18 holes. It was John, me, and my wife. We went to a little course close by, and this is a nice course. It's a really pretty course. There's a lot of kind of it's not in the woods, but there's a lot of like trees and kind of woods that surround the course. And it's really beautiful. We were playing kind of late fall, so the leaves are down, and the trees are kind of getting bare. And so we're having a fun time, and John and I kind of feed off each other's energy. And so when we're kind of goofing off, we kind of get in this goofy, kind of mindset, and we'll just be goofing off and having a fun time. Well, we're on the ninth hole at this course, and I have a 6 iron. It's a short par four, and so I'm hitting like a 6 iron. We're playing from the front tees because we're just scrambling, seeing how low we can go. And I topped this 6 iron, maybe 20 feet, 30 feet. Horrible 6 iron. Again, we've been kind of goofing off, just having a fun time. We're 9 holes in, and just being goofy. I throw the club. I'm gonna do a little club throw, and out of spite of my 20-foot top. And
And I will say, it's not like you do that all the time. I think I've never seen you club throw before. You're just goofing off. It was totally to be silly, nothing to do
right,
with him being that angry or anything. It was just being goofy because we don't get to hang out that much.
right. It wasn't like a rage thing. It wasn't like I was ready to snap every club in the bag or anything. It was just being just pure silliness that I was like, oh, I hit a bad shot. Let me just throw the club up the fairway. And needless to say, I snap hook my club throw, and it goes dead right over into the trees that are lining the kind of the fairway, and I don't see it drop. And I just kind of remember staring like, did the club hit the ground? I don't think I saw it hit the ground. And I don't know what was going through John's head, but I was like, surely the club dropped somewhere, and I didn't see it. I don't know what you were. You kind of thinking the same thing?
I remember open mouth staring at each other like, there's no way that just happened, right?
Exactly. I was like, there's no way that that is still in the tree. So we walk over to the tree, and we're looking for a while, and it takes us a while, but eventually we do find it. It's in the tree about maybe, I don't know, 20 feet, 25 feet in the air. So it's not like low enough that we could just use a club and stand on the cart and like knock it out of the tree or anything. So we're looking at it. We're trying to figure out kind of how you address this club that I've now got stuck in the tree. And so our solution is, and this is really good. I recommend you use this solution if you get a club stuck in the tree, is that you throw your other clubs at the club in the tree. So it's later in the day, so the course is kind of empty and there's nobody behind us. So we're over there for probably 10, 15 minutes. I don't know, probably something like that. And we're throwing other clubs. Now I was smart enough to know that I'm not very good with my 5 iron, so like at least let's use that, not a club I'm decent with to try and knock it out. But we're whipping this 5 iron up into the tree, trying to knock this 6 iron loose, and it's just not budging. We've hit it a couple times, and it's getting stuck in there. We've tried all kinds of different throws, underhand, overhand, tomahawking it at the other club. I mean, we've tried to grab the limbs and shake the tree. Nothing is getting this club out. It's really stuck in there.
There was no way to climb the tree either. It was a really large tree with no branches for like 10 feet probably.
Right, right. There wasn't even like limbs you could really get a hold of to try and climb it. There was really no hope of getting this iron out unless I somehow knocked it loose. So we had looked for like other limbs and stuff to try and maybe poke it or make it loose. We had thrown clubs and stuff at it, and so we finally started to kind of get a method that if you underhand tossed it in a certain way, it was kind of starting to uh, knock it loose a little bit. And I thought that, I started to feel like a little feeling of like, oh, we might actually get this club unstuck. And I was starting to get a little bit of confidence back. And then at that point, I look to my right and I see John tomahawk a 5 iron about 15 feet higher than the 6 iron, and it also gets stuck in the tree.
Not to mention hadn't we already gotten one stuck up there and had to knock it back down?
Yes, yes, we did get
Yeah,
one stuck earlier that had gotten it was lower though, so it wasn't as concerning because we were able to just kind of knock that one
knock
out.
it
But when
loose.
when I look over and I see this tomahawk just soaring, I just remember looking up and seeing it just soar above the 6 iron. Wasn't anywhere near the same height. It was at least another 10, 15 feet in the air. And I mean, and it just wedges in there, and he and I both just look at each other like that one's more stuck than the first. Like, there's
Yeah,
no way that 5 iron was
yeah,
coming out.
completely wedged.
Yeah, it was like just absolutely smashed into the tree, and like there was no way that either of those irons were coming out. So at this point, I've now lost my 5 and my 6 iron into this tree, and it's become a rather expensive round of golf because now we have green fees, cart fees, and a 6 and 5 iron that we've got to replace. So I'm just like, man, I don't even know what to do. So it's the ninth hole, so we're heading back towards the clubhouse. I'm like, I'm just gonna pop in the clubhouse, let them know. I'm sure they have a maintenance guy who's got like, some tree loppers or something, and he can go up there and just knock it out, and we'll be good to go. So we go in the clubhouse and we talk to him. I'm like, hey, I got club stuck in a tree. The lady found it rather amusing, as I'm sure most people would if you are telling them you managed to get 2 irons stuck in a tree 30 feet from the tee box. So she's like, okay, well, the maintenance has already left for today. We'll get your name and number, and we will call you when we get them out. And so we go on. We play the rest of a round. I don't really remember what we scramble and shot that day. Do you remember? I was kind of out of it after then.
It's a really tough chorus, and we shot it like I forget it was like 2 under or something like that. We're not incredible golfers. We make some incredible shots. That's why we love it. But we're not insane golfers. We're only year and a half, 2 years into our golf journey, so we're not
For
crazy
sure.
good yet. But we still shot a couple under, and yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah. No, it was a really fun time, and besides losing the clubs and everything, it was awesome. It was for my birthday. He pulled up and
Hmm.
surprised us, and so it was a really cool time. So we had a good round. We played the rest of the round actually pretty well. I feel like
Yeah.
I was still playing better than I would have expected after losing 2 clubs, to be honest. So
Hmm.
obviously morale was down for a hole or two after
Yeah,
reeling the loss of 2 irons.
that was hole nine. Yeah, so you still had a hole nine to play
Right, we played
after
the
that.
entire back nine. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think we honestly did pretty decent on the back nine. I think the back nine's harder there, and I think
Yeah.
we still shot pretty decent for being down 2 clubs and
Hmm.
taking a 30-minute break by the time we tried to knock them all out and then went and talked at the clubhouse.
Hmm.
So that's just a little bit of a story to kind of summarize our most recent golf experience, and so that's kind of why we want to document our golf journeys because we've realized that through our golf journeys, we're gonna have a lot of interesting stories to tell. So, what better way to document them than a little podcast?
Oh yeah. And that also brings you to your new acquisition, which is some irons. You had to you had to buy some irons.
That that would be correct. So, as a golfer would do, when you lose an iron, it becomes a phenomenal excuse for your next purchase, which needs to naturally be a new set of irons. So, I've got some Strixon ZXI fives in the mail. A really big thing about my irons is I'm really into the graphite shafts. I love the way they feel.
Hmm.
And, I don't know, I just feel like I strike the ball a lot better with the graphite shafts. I know there's some other, like, popular golfers out there that use the graphite shafts, but so I was listening to some people talk about them and ended up getting them for my last set that I just lost a few irons out of, and I loved it. Ever since I started swinging those graphites, I was sold on the feeling of the graphite. I like the weight of the club head being a little bit heavier with that light shaft. It feels like just a lot more pure to me when I swing. And so I really like that. So I got these irons fitted with graphite shafts. I also got oversized grips put on, or yeah, like not the jumbo, but
Midsize,
like the no, the step up from midsize, a little bit bigger than midsize.
oversized. Okay.
So whatever the next step up from the mid-size was, I got the same grip I now. I use the Win Dry Tech. I really like
Those are
those.
nice.
Those
Yeah,
are
those are
super good
nice.
feel. And so I was able to get all those, the graphite shafts, the grips, and the irons. So I've got those in the mail. Next episode, I'm hoping to kind of do a little bit of like a club review, kind of get them out. I've got a
Hmm.
simulator here at the apartment complex I stay at, and so hoping to take them out on the sim and
Nice.
kind of see how they feel, and then kind of bring some feedback back on those.
Hmm.
I've read a lot of good things about them. They're I got the fives because I'm not necessarily like a low handicap. They're for like the mid handicap players. So
Yeah.
they have the fours, the fives, and the sevens. The fours are for like game improvement. The fives are like kind of mid handicappers, and the sevens are like the players' irons for like low handicaps. And I'm definitely not low handicap, but my thought was that if I got the game improvement, it would probably be nice for maybe next year, like another year.
Hmm.
But I would probably be wanting like the mid handicaps
Yep.
because I've been kind of improving the past year and a half to 2 years, so I'm
Right.
kind of probably closer to wanting that mid handicap iron. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. We'll see what they feel like when they get here. But yeah,
No,
bought
that's
irons
awesome.
a little bit sooner than I expected.
That that is something I will say. Whenever I started golf, I I don't think it's a great idea to go out and spend a ridiculous amount of money on your clubs because like Bren's saying, if you're gonna see your game improve and you're gonna want new equipment, and unless you want to be dropping thousands and thousands of dollars, buy yourself a cheap starter set, figure out kind of where your game's at after a little bit, and then kind of focus on what needs to improve on your game, and then spend a little bit of money. Because I spent a lot of money early. And at the time, both me and Brenton thought it was a good idea. We both thought that, oh yeah, why don't I get something a little bit nicer than say like I think the Callaway Strata set, which I think is what you started out with. And I've tried. It's not a bad set. It works. It's not amazing, but it works. Um, it's nice, but as soon as I spent a good bit of money on my starter set. It was like $900, which I think you can buy some nice equipment for $900. I mean, you don't you don't have to spend that much money. And I bought it, and I had to. It was so bad, I had to buy new clubs. I mean, they worked, but uh, it was just bad quality. I didn't like the quality, and I could have spent that money towards a nicer iron set or something later down the road, and I would have preferred to have that than the set I had and started out with something a little bit worse. So I will say that for newer golfers, go on Marketplace, go on eBay, get yourself some cheap used clubs that are still somewhat nice. Check out some reviews, look up some stuff. I know I'm a big proponent of once you get a little bit better. I have Tacoma irons. I think they're really good. I know Brenton, that's what he had before this, and he liked them a lot. And a lot of my buddies, I mean, I would be lying to say we haven't been influenced by some of the YouTube golfers and stuff like that, but it is a great iron. It is really nice. I really enjoy it, and they're cheap. I mean, you can't find a better price for. I believe for the 101s it's like 480 to 80 or something like that, and then with shipping it's like five something. And you can find used sets for even cheaper than that. So I would definitely recommend those for your like second set of irons. The ones they're great. I've swung some other clubs, but when you hit it on the sweet spot, it is a great feeling iron. So I definitely recommend them. I don't know, Brendan, if you recommend them or not. Um, I think it's great for your starting set, your second set.
100%. I got my Tacoma irons used off Facebook Marketplace for $350. And like for that price point and the quality of iron that you're getting, you're really not going to get much better. It's a high quality iron that is budget friendly for somebody who's just starting out
Hmm.
golf. And I also 100% agree with what you said earlier. I wouldn't really be investing in like the sets like that you can buy like a full set of starter clubs. I think they offer like for somebody who has like not a lot of knowledge about golf, like you don't understand like what the different clubs are you need to get started. I think that's a great
Hmm.
maybe option for there, but I would just 100% recommend spending the time investing to get the knowledge and what kind of irons, what kind of, driver hybrid woods, what kind of bag you need. And then you're going to save a lot of money just going on Facebook Marketplace because those sets are going to charge you a lot extra for like the bag that's included, all the head covers, all the little trinkets and trinkets that aren't iron or aren't clubs. They're charging you for all that as well in the set. And so like if your budget, like John, if you had $900 and you go on Facebook Marketplace, you can get used stuff and you could get a full set of a lot higher quality irons even used than those are new.
Yeah.
And so I
Oh
would
yeah.
100% recommend doing that for your first set of clubs if you're just looking to get into the sport.
And all you really need to do is if you're like, oh, this is a little bit, a little bit rough, just get them re-gripped. Literally, you get them re-gripped. It's basically like a new club. I mean, not obviously not, but you get them re-gripped. It's not really all that different unless they've really demolished their clubs by like smacking them against pavement or something. They'll be completely fine.
As
So
soon as you get a new set and you play a round or two with them, there's enough rocks and dirt and stuff in the ground that they're going to be all scratched up and dinged up anyways. From using the new set. So I 100% agree. As long as there's no like you can tell they're not bent, as long as the
hmm
grips are replaceable, the shafts aren't like
yeah,
fractured or something's not like noticeably defected on them, you can get
yep,
a really good set off of like Facebook or eBay or something for a lot better price. You could spend a lot less and get into the sport. You don't have to
hmm
buy the marketed club sets that they
yep.
sell at stores.
Yeah, and you don't need the latest greatest either. I mean, like a lot of these clubs have improved, but they haven't improved that much. So if you're just getting into it, get yourself an older club. I mean, not too old. Trying to think. I mean, I think Sim 2, that's a great club for beginners. It's a little bit older. QI 10, I know that's a great club. Those are some older clubs, but I honestly, as a beginner, I don't think you even need that. I don't think you need something. Get yourself something cheap. If you can find one of those clubs for cheap, those are some great clubs. Um, yeah, yeah, that's kind of my recommendations for some newer golfers. Like we were getting into it, some of the mistakes we made when we started. Uh, but yeah, that's what I got in that. So,
That's awesome. That sounds good. Well, I think looking forward towards episode 2, we're going to be looking at reviewing those irons. We're going to be talking about what I think about the Strixon irons, how I feel about them as kind of around a 16, 17 handicap, kind of what my take is on them. Now, obviously, it's going to be in a simulator, so it's not going to be like actual turf interaction,
mhm,
but I'm going to kind of give a review on those. And then we also got some fun ideas that we're kind of tossing around, and we're going to maybe flesh those out a little bit in the next episode as far as like challenges and maybe some
mhm.
competition stuff going into next season. We've got some fun ideas that we're cooking up and maybe flesh those out a little bit next episode.
Yeah, this is also a rough time to start a golf podcast. We really got into it. We were excited about getting started. Right now, I think there's about almost a foot or more of snow outside. So
100%. If we just keep it a buck 50 with you, we got good deals on some stuff to start the podcast
Black
because
Friday.
of Black Friday, and yeah, quite possibly the worst time to start a golf podcast because our our area is also covered in snow. I don't know that's quite a foot, but you can't see the grass, so there's there's
Yes.
there's no
Yep.
golfing outside happening right
hmm
now.
That is something else to mention. We got a whole state in between us. So we don't get together too much, but we've been best friends since we were,
I think I was
man.
4. I think I was
Yeah.
4 when we
Yep.
met.
Yep. And I'm about a year older, so I would have been 5 or 6. And yeah.
22 and 23 now.
Yep. Yep. So we've been best friends. We still get to link up. I mean, there was some times during the summer we'll probably get together 1 or 2 times a month, which is a lot. It's a lot of travel, but it is it's fun. We'll
We
get
make it
together.
happen.
Yeah, we make it happen. So if we need to, we meet in between. In between, we where he was saying that Memorial Day tournament over in Dublin, Ohio. That's where we went. That was a great time. They got some nice courses out there, so we got to go out there with one of our good buddies and go to that tournament. So that was a really really good time. But yeah, that's kind of the stuff we'll get together and do. Where I'll go out there, or he'll come here, and yeah, it's a great time.
100%. We're hoping to kind of document some of that stuff, either talk about it after, or I don't even know. We might even try and get a little film while we're out on courses and stuff. We'll see what happens. It's just kind of doing this to kind of put almost a little bit of a memory book or a little bit of a journal of our
Yeah.
golf journey together, so that we have something to kind of look back on and have some fun memories. So if you want to tag along for the journey, be sure and stop by and keep listening.
It's good.
I think that concludes episode 1. Have a good day.
Have a good one.